Okay, let's apply what we learned to the person class that we developed in the last lecture. So here's where we left off on the person class in the last lecture. We had a method, get full name, we had a constructor, and we had a test case where we could verify that what we passed in is what is built by the get full name method. So the first thing we do is we should make the first name and the last name private. And then we need to decide, once a person is created, do you want to be able to change the first and last name? If you want that, then you should have both a getter and a setter for first and last name. If you want to make it so that you pass the values to the constructor, but then the first and last names can never be changed, then mark the first and last names as final, supply a getter, but don't supply a setter. In this particular case, let's say, once you create a person with a first and last name, their names can never be changed. So we'll say that these are final, and then we'll use the Eclipse trick to generate the getters and setters, and we'll just do getters. So I have get first name and get last name, but I don't have any corresponding setters. And let's make sure that that will work. So let's print out first name is plus get first name Control C, Control V. Last name is get last name, Control space, Control V. Full name is get full, Control space. Right click, run as, Java application. Jane Smith, Jane Smith. And there's no way of changing it. There's no way this outside code can modify the first and last name. All right, so private instance variables hook them to the outside world, and we should also have some documentation. So represents a person that will be used in a simple community of workers. Okay, that's perhaps obvious from the name person, but first name and last name are not at all obvious. When I gave Java EE courses in Japan, people referred to me as Hall Marty, not as Marty Hall. It's very natural. There's a lot of countries where the family name comes before the given name. So when I say get first name, it's not at all clear what that means. So I'll document it. Returns the first name by American conventions, i.e. the given name. And then for last name, Control C, Control V, returns the last name by American conventions, i.e. the family name. Okay, so that information was not clear merely by the method name. That's the kind of thing that should go in the JavaDoc documentation. Now we can try inheritance. Let's make an employee that's based on a person. So new class employee. And you can right here say person if you want to, give the superclass, or you just say employee and then you can type in extends person. And let's say that employees have additional characteristics for instance, they have a company name, string company name. And we will make a constructor, and we will pass in the first name, the last name, and the company name. So we will say public employee, string first name, string last name, string company name, and then the first name and the last name will be passed to the person constructor, super first name, last name, and the company name will just be stored locally. Then I can put in accessor methods for the company. I said before that the first and last name cannot be changed, but suppose that the company name can be changed. You can quit one company and join another company as many times as you want. So I will generate getters and setters. For company, I'll select all of them, and I have a getter and a setter. And now I will go to person test, and I will say employee E equals new employee John Doe mycompany.com, and then I will print out the person's full name and their company. Right-click, run as, Java application, and I've got John Doe and the company name. So the point of employee is I didn't have to repeat all of the characteristics of person. However, the person class did not have a zero-argument constructor, so I was required on the first line of the employee constructor to designate which of the parent class constructors I wanted. I want the two-argument constructor of the person class.